Welcome to another Daily Digest video. I'm Merriam. Today I'm playing what looks like a mono-red deck, and it's virtually mono-red. We are just splashing blue for Adelies and some negates on the sideboard. So we're sort of morphing the blue-red wizards concept with mono-red aggro. You get to play all these great burn spells, cheap haste creatures, and then there's the Flame of Kel, the Goblin Chain Whirler sort of combo to form those mini Plague Winds as well. It's just a powerful interaction. Flame of Kel also refuels our hand to keep having spells to trigger prowess. So a lot of internal synergies here and a neat little aggressive deck. My hand looks pretty good. I could just start on Bomat Courier into Lava Runner, perhaps plus Wizard's Lightning, although I really want to save this one energy. There's just one hub in the deck as a 9th blue source. I'd really like to save this energy to cast Chain Whirler, so hopefully we'll draw another land here in the first 2 turns, although we are a 20 land deck, so this hub could be awkward. Opponent leads on Plains Sacred Cat. That is also awkward. So now I don't much want to play Bomat Courier and trade, so I guess I'll just play Lava Runner past the turn. I did draw a land though, so that's kind of helpful, but Sacred Cat is going to be a good card against me. I guess I do have Chain Whirler, so that helps. Ugh. Oh. On the bright side, our Bomat Courier will probably get in, unless they have another Sacred Cat here. Unfortunately, that was our only wizard. Not a lot of wizards in this deck. It's basically just enough to support Adelies and Wizard's Lightning, but if one dies early, this could end up being a 3-mana Lightning Strike instead of a Lightning Bolt, which is fine. So I'll get in my 1 and trigger my Courier. Next turn I'll get to Chain Whirl the front half of that Sacred Cat. And you should Flame of Kel here on turn 4 or 5 to refuel. Honestly, with Flame of Kel and Chain Whirler and Bomat Courier, I kind of like losing the early creature to a removal spell. I've got a lot of ways to gain card advantage in my hand, so trading 1 for 1 with one of the other cards is pretty good. Okay, well, I think we're going to be off the Chain Whirler plane here because, maybe not. Second Flame of Kel is awkward. It's kind of like Bedlam Reveler. They just get discarded to the other one, but if they had attacked the Sacred Cat, I'd be more incentivized to deal with the Responder. But I'm kind of hoping to draw like an Adelies next turn or some other wizard to make to double spell, because I want to empty my hand for Flame. So I'm willing to take this attack next turn. Am I thinking that they're going to pump this Aerial Responder in some way to make it virtually impossible for me to answer? That would be annoying, but I don't know exactly what my opponent is doing. I don't think this is a typical deck in the current standard format, but I'm going to get my threat down. I'm still going to Chain Whirl. We'll see how this goes if I get massively punished. Definitely a risky line, but I think it's a line that sets me up a lot better if it works out, and there's a very good chance of it working out. We're just going to play the slow game. Okay, well there's one source of card advantage down. And just bring back the cat. That is perfectly fine. Okay, well, still lands for me, so this Flame is going to have to be pretty good. Let's mush for 3. And kill this Aerial Responder. So hopefully I draw some spell I can cast next turn with a Flame. Okay. I'll get this removal spell out of the way while they're tapped out. We're both pretty low on resources. I'm not super concerned about them having a source of life gain. They're still at 21. I'm going to win this game by overloading them on cards. Oh no. Well, now I'm concerned about them having a source of life gain. And there really wasn't much I could do about this. Ugh. Yep. And I did draw a good card, but I cannot imagine it's going to be enough. Because I can't stop them from... I needed to draw a removal spell there to at least stop them from making another horse. I guess I'll attack. Maybe I'm supposed to hold back and block, but at this point I'm going to be under so much pressure from horses that I actually think I have to kill them. Not sure how I'm going to do that. Especially when the horse tokens are indestructible, but we'll see how it goes. Oh wow, they're playing hyper conservatively. I'm actually super happy about that. I would have been in much worse shape if they just 10'd me. But now with them at 21, that is not likely that I'd find a way to kill them. Oh, that land is not good. Need some spells. Well, those were spells, but they were not good ones, so this game, I believe, is over. I'm trying to think if there's anything I can draw next turn to go with the flame coming off, and even Chain Whirler doesn't deal with everything. These are indestructible, so yeah, I am dead. We are playing against a Crested Sunmare deck. Okay, so how do we want to deal with this? Fight with Fire is probably good. Hazoret is... they're white removal, so I don't think Hazoret is actually very good. The problem with Fight with Fire is it's a sorcery, and Crested Sunmare, if they set it up, is going to make a 5/5 immediately. So maybe I have to bring in even more cheap removal to keep their sources of life gain off the battlefield. That seems so difficult to do. I think I'm just going to bring in some answers to the Sunmare and hope that's good enough. Hopefully I can put them on the back foot so they're not able to set up a turn 5 Sunmare like they did that game. I'm trimming a Flame of Keld because I think I'm not favored in the long game anyway, and they're awkward at multiples, and then I'll just trim in a Braid as my worst other removal spell to bring in Fight with Fire because I need to keep a threat density. Maybe I want Chandra. Doesn't kill Sunmare. It kills Aerial Responder. It also just gains card advantage and finds more removal. So maybe Chandra is good as my hedge for games going longer. Yeah, we can try that. Soulscar Mage should be good. If I can set that up with Chain Whirler, Flame of Keld, and shrink the horses, that would be helpful. So, what other card am I cutting? Probably just Bomat Courier. This seems like a weak card against the Sacred Cat Fatal Push deck. So we can trim a Bomat Courier and get a little bit bigger. I would like to play first. Oh, the double Sulphur Falls draw, but it's a pretty good draw outside of that, so I'm going to keep. This is the downside of being a... I guess it's not much of a downside being enemy color compared to friendly color, because friendly color has lands that always enter tapped at the cycling duels. But when you're a low land count enemy color deck, you get these draws more often. Ooh, a mulligan from our opponent. That'll help. And they keep 6. Where's the scry going? On top. Sulphur Falls. This would be a real nice draw if one of those Sulphur Falls was a mountain. I got the Courier down a turn earlier. Get to play Soulscar Mage, either Chain Whirl on 3 or you start using removal spells. Another Sacred Cat. Well, Vomet Courier once again looking awkward. Okay, I like second Chain Whirler. That'll really help contain the Sacred Cat, but I do need a land. And we will see if my opponent continues to curve out. Last game they went 1-drop into Fatal Push, into Aerial Responder, into Seal Away plus Recur 1-drop plus Fatal Push, into Crested Sunmare. So they used 14 out of 15 possible mana in the first 5 turns. That's pretty good. Okay, that's very confusing because they kept the card on top off the scry. Did they keep the Sacred Cat? And that is, when you're on a one-lander, a Sacred Cat is not going to stall for long. So I'm not sure what that's about, but let's whirl some chains here and take advantage of our opponent's stumble. Wish for 1. If they miss a land drop, they'll probably just recur the Sacred Cat, and then we'll chain whirl it again and just be miles ahead. I doubt they come back from that. And that's looks like what's happening. Yep. Don't worry, I've got another one. Not done whirling my chains. I'll bring them to 17. This will be 13. I already have 8 points of burn in my hand. So, yeah, they might just be dead next turn. And that's what it looks like. Let's see if they give us information with this discard. They brought in Fragmentize. I guess that kills Flame of Keld and Vomet Courier. Probably not that bad as a one-of. I'll just play Courier. Wish you for 1,000,000. This is already 8. So, yeah, there's no point in me like showing them burn spells. They might give me more information on their turn. They like draw a land and play something that lets them survive on board. Might get a little information here for maybe 10 seconds of time. Nope. Well, that didn't change anything. So we know they have Fragmentize. Does that make me more likely to want to bring out Flame of Keld? I'd be bringing in basically a Braid instead, because I really don't think Hazoret's very good against the Seal Away deck that probably has some 4-mana exile removal. And their black white, it could be Contempt, it could be Cast Out, but I imagine they have at least one of those. And Seal Away to deal with it. But if my Flame of Kelds are bad because of Fragmentize, then maybe I just want to cut them and blank that card in my opponent's hand or in their deck. It's also possible they just have like 1 in their sideboard and they wanted to show it to me to make me play more around it. I'm not going to bite. I am going to do what I had initially planned on, which was trim another Courier here for a removal spell on the draw. A Braid a lot better on the draw based on how it answers Aerial Responder. So I'm fine having 1 a Braid here, and Courier has just not looked good in this matchup. Again, Sacred Cat, Fatal Push. Both cards that do not make it look very good. Little land heavy, but the Flame of Keld should help a lot. Hopefully it doesn't get fragmentized, and we have a 1-drop, so I think this is a keep, but it's close. We're pretty taxed or stressed on our ability to come out of the gates quickly. And this hand like runs the risk of not doing that. Unlikely I turn this into a 2/2 haste anytime soon, so if they have push, I'd rather them kill that and leave me the Soulscar Mage. No 1-drop at all. Let's see, what is this? Okay. Probably not the card I would have chosen as the 2-drop in this deck, but it's going to trade for one of our creatures, which is about what you can ask of it. Yeah, I'll attack. this point with the second Soulscar Mage, I don't mind trading any of the 3 creatures for it. And if they don't want to trade this turn, I might be able to get a point in. I think the plan at this point is to play Fight with Fire next turn, and then Flame plus hopefully something, so I can, or something plus Flame. So I can only discard 1 card to the Flame, and then refuel. Maybe find a Goblin Chain Whirler to go with Flame of Keld and Soulscar Mage. That would be nice. Another Concealed Courtyard. 3 is the perfect number to draw. The 4th one's now awkward. See if they have an aerial responder I can destroy. Gifted Aetherborn. Well, I definitely want to kill that one. Not only does it check my team, it is a source of life gain. So even though I'm ostensibly trading 3 damage for 2 damage here, the Soulscar Mage will attack for 2 because of Fight with Fire. I think that's a good trade for me. I don't want the games to go long, so I'm not going to trade. I'll just take the 3 and turn this game into more of a race where hopefully I kill them on turn 6, I guess, if I flame on 4. Okay, that is kind of cool. I definitely still have to Fight with Fire here. No way I want to let this Gifted Aetherborn live. But I can Warlord's Fury next turn and hopefully find another 1-mana spell, whether it be Wizards of Lightning or another creature or a shock. Warlord's Fury might keep the gas coming that I don't flame until turn 5 now, if I'm able to just use all my mana next turn. It will also make this Lava Runner a 2/2 finally. Wish for 5. Have they drawn a Fatal Push? I imagine they drew Gifted Aetherborn there on that 3rd turn, because I definitely would have played that over Knight of New Benalia on turn 2. And now they got Isolated Chapel, a little awkward, following up triple Concealed Courtyard. I'll be a little nervous if they play another lifelink creature here, because it means I'll really want to find another removal spell to avoid land Sunmare on turn 5. I do have 2 draws to find that removal spell, and a host of them in my deck, though. So it'll probably be another attack. Yep. Notch up these life totals. And we'll see how scared I have to be on my turn. What do you got? I guess 2 lifelink creatures would be even better. If they had Aetherborn plus Sacred Cat, I'd just be dead. There we go. 14 all. Yeah, there's a lifelink creature, and it is a good one. Okay, removal spell, please. Preferably Wizard's Lightning. Otherwise, we might be in trouble. I can go... There we go. Even though this stops me from flaming, I am very happy to answer this aerial responder. Not the ideal. Like I said, Wizard's Lightning would have been better, but getting that off the battlefield to reduce the threat of a Sunmare and getting in for 8 here is excellent. Now I will have Flame of Keld for next turn. I'll either be discarding a land to it or casting some spell before it. I guess if I Warlord's Fury into a 3-drop, that'll be the most awkward thing. But cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay. Pretty happy to see removal spell here instead of... And they get rid of that. Instead of something to stabilize the battlefield, because I have Flame. Wow, that would be a very aggressive attack. They have another aerial responder here? That is... No. Okay, then. Well, I am just going to shock this knight now that it has dealt 9 mostly irrelevant damage. And... Oh, I should have just tried to kill them, shouldn't I? You know, given how aggressive they were, I have to assume they have another removal spell here. So I actually kind of like just shocking the creature. I just didn't think about it at first. Definitely should have thought about it. But at least in hindsight, I didn't get punished. And it's possible I just take this and go to 2. I'm not really sure what they were doing. Yeah, maybe I should have just gone for it. I'm still in great shape, so I'm not too worried. Oh, I should have done... Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't play this turn very well. I could have killed that thing and threatened lethal. So, just completely... They've switched away from prowess and towards all the creatures that trigger off of just instants and sorceries. I tricked myself for a minute. Sun Scorcher Desert, that is... Are they... Oh, they're still picking. Well, I could have screwed myself here. Let's hope I didn't. Not sure what they can have here. That's a haste creature, so that's pretty good. Any burn spell will... Yeah, that'll lock it up. So let's Lava Runner. And... I don't think there's any point in extending this other Lava Runner, so I'll just attack with these 3. So they need a removal spell on the 2/2 and on something else, and to stop the lightning strike, and then that'll even prowess the Soulscar Mage into lethal. So they need to answer all 4 things. Yeah, I figured Settle was the first way. Let's just get this game over. I don't feel like searching my library. There we go. Okay. I guess they should have been dead the turn earlier. I definitely should have threatened lethal. Just missed that it was enchantment still trigger prowess. Kind of weird that they've moved away from prowess, and now right after making it evergreen, now it's all when you cast an instant or sorcery. Not that I think that mechanic's more intuitive, because instants and sorceries are sort of the spelly things, but it's just weird the way they timed that. But regardless, that game, our opponent, I guess, flooded a bit, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just had a Sunmare in their hand that they never had a good time to cast. Although they spent their turn 5 just casting a Seal away and not doing anything else. So that suggests they probably didn't have one. But regardless, we were able to keep their lifelinkers in check, draw some extra cards from the flame, and I think our opponent made a mistake continuously attacking with their 3/1, because I was very happy to sit there racing as the aggressive deck. I think they need to use their creatures more defensively. So that played to our advantage there in Game 3, and able to take that one down in a matchup that you might look on paper and say, that's pretty bad. They have a bunch of life gain in their deck against the super aggro deck. If they ever trigger the Crested Sunmare, the game's probably over, as it was in Game 1. So, but, you know, when you're the aggro deck, you still have an out. Just stop them from doing their thing. And that's what we did. That's why I like being aggressive, because, you know, your draws can stop even a bad matchup if they stumble a bit. They helped us out there in Game 2. Not sure why they kept their card on top if they were on a one-lander, but, you know, yeah, you get to make your own decisions. So, hope you enjoyed watching that one, and you can come back and see me on Friday. Bye.